All right. Stream is a thing that is happening. I should tell Twitter that. Hello, everyone. I'm sure you've forgotten who I am. It's been so long. Everyone. That's for those people watching YouTube who are actually already here. In the future past future. Yes. Tweet. Now back to stream chat so I can see it. And, alright. Gotta figure out what the hell we're doing. How do you not like that? Let's do all of my transmutes real quick before I forget, because I've been forgetting a lot lately. Yeah, I had a good Christmas. I went to Arizona, so it was nice to get into a nice warm location for a little while. And now I'm home, which is awesome as well. It's like, it's nice to leave, and it's so much nicer to come back. And now I've got like a week and a half until school starts again, so that's good. How was your Christmas? I wasn't really doing anything in WoW since I didn't have my like real computer. I just had a little Surface, so I've been trying to play catch up for the past day or two since I've been back. It's like I should stream what's happening, because why not? Just okay. Well, the good parts will be good memories, and the bad parts are over. So. Always gotta look on the bright. We had like report cards in preschool. They weren't like, here's how you're doing in math or science, but it was sent home to the parents just to, because obviously this is the first time that kids are like interacting with a lot of other kids in like a organized setting, that sort of thing. So it was just kind of here's some stuff you should know about your child, how they socialize, what they like to do in group settings, things like that. And so I went back, and I still have, my mom kept all of them, so I went back, and it's like, Fade, obviously they didn't call me Fade, but it's like, Fade is such a wonderful girl to work with. She enjoys playing with other students, but would much rather play alone or with the teachers. She always looks on the bright side of things and is a joy to have around. And I'm like, that is so me still to this day. It's like, bright side, would prefer to be alone or with my teachers than my peers. This is me through and through still to this day. So, some things never change. I was going to actually stream last night, because I think that last night is a night that I'm technically scheduled to stream on my normal schedule, which will be changing, and I'll discuss that in a minute, by the way. But then I was playing Banished, and I was also like cooking and stuff, because I do a lot of meal prep, so I cook a lot of food all at once, and then I eat it for the next week. So so I was like getting up every 5 minutes, so I was like, that's not going to be a good stream, so I didn't. But plus I was playing Banished, and most people like to see WoW, so. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so my new class, like the new semester starting in my program, so the class schedule's changing, and I also have a job this time around. So I think that my scheduled times are going to change, and I'm probably going to look at, rather than having like 3 days a week that I stream 2 hours each day, I'll do like a big chunk of weekend streaming or something like that instead. It'll be better for EU watchers, and it'll free up my weeknights for like the things I need to be doing, and for Dungeons and Dragons. which is the other thing I've got going on this upcoming semester, hopefully. Yeah, that's one great, like, so yes, you can normally AFK and WoW and do stuff, but lately I've been having this bad habit that I forget to stop my auto flying, and then I come back and I'm dead in the middle of the ocean. It's happened like 3 times Inflicted's here. Thanks for the resub. 3 months in a row though. You're the current record holder in both sub repeats and top cheer. And howdy, Clarky. Let's see here. Oh, I'm like, what? What do you mean I can't look at my guild bank? But, oh, I am in the guild, though. I should probably just, yeah, I'm just gonna put this, just gonna give myself some, just gonna give myself permission here to actually get into my guild bank. I guess I need to, I haven't done guild management in a long time. Alts. Okay, and now Trixton becomes a fade alt. I need bank tab permissions for fade alts. How was your Christmas, Clarky? And Inflicted as well, if you're... Well, I guess I feel like I've asked Inflicted how his Christmas went, but just in case I was an asshole and didn't, how's yours going as well? You haven't talked yet, so maybe you're not even, like, in chat and you're just, like, randomly subscribing without actually watching the channel, which would be weird. But acceptable. Okay, there we go. So now Trixton can deposit. Yes, I went through all that to not have to just hit my TSM mailing button. Excellent. Okay, so back to my alchemist army, but oh, she's also an engineer, so I've got to handle that. Getting close to another sky golem. MOP, yeah, I've had guilds like anyone for time walking, and I'm like, I should really do that, but I don't want to. Well, glad you had a good one, Clarky. I also spent time with family, not your family, my family. And it was great. I went to Arizona, so it was like 75 degrees. It was wonderful. So I was in Arizona. I was out for a walk, just getting my steps in, trying to get more healthy. And this isn't like a New Year's resolution. It's a, hey, you put on way too much weight last year. Let's not be stupid kind of a thing. But anyways, I am, back on track. I've had a few really good days, so trying to keep those going. But anyways, so I was out walking, getting my steps in, and someone from my cohort messaged me on Facebook on my phone, and they're like, hey, do you want to go, like, walking around, I hesitate to call it a hike because it's not nearly so intense. It was more like just a nice walk out in nature walk. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. And I said that as I was walking around in shorts at 72 degrees, and then I get back to where we would actually be doing the walking, and like at the time that we went out, it was yesterday, at the time we went out it was 22 degrees, and I'm like, bad choice on my part. But it was fun, and I got all my steps in, so. Ooh. Oh, a little Hearth station. I don't know. I know that this is the new present. I don't really know what to do with it. Or if it just sits there. And just is. I mean, it looks cool, but is that all it does? Is just sit there and spin around? Granted, that's all I usually do is sit there and spin around, and I think I'm pretty cool, so. Oh, I should... Come on. All right. Steel. I don't get nearly enough procs on living steel. Just thought I'd complain about that for a moment. Oh, yeah, let's go get us some bacon. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Warriors don't know it's not bacon. Okay, let's see here. Oh, and so the other thing that I was doing over break, I know that a few people in chat have brought it up with me. I know Gimp did, and then I don't think it was in chat, but Josh, I think it was on Twitter, was talking to me about it. So I started Ready Player One right before I left for Christmas. So, and because the trailer looked like, between all the recommendations and the trailer for the movie looking awesome, I decided to start it, and I have Audible now. I like signed up for Audible for it. And it's also nice for while I'm out walking around getting my steps in to be able to listen to something other than just the same old music. And I'm loving Ready Player One. It's read by Will Wheaton, which he does a decent job. There's a few spots where I think his inflection seems a bit strange for like how I would have delivered that line, sort of a thing. But I really have been enjoying it, so I recommend it to other folks. I had one person say that I've had two people now say that it was terrible, and I'm like, okay, admit it, I have not finished it yet. I have to admit that. But I wouldn't say it's terrible. I wouldn't say it's the best book ever written, but it's not terrible. So that's the other thing that I've been doing over the break is finishing up Ready Player One. Yeah, Audible, like, it feels really expensive, $15 a month, because I pay, like, since I have a student discount for Spotify, I only pay $5 a month for Spotify. So, like, that's kind of what I think of as streaming media, and I don't pay anything for Netflix. I'm on someone else's account, and I don't pay her in this way. I'm just on her account for fun, or I shouldn't say for fun. I'm on her account because we've been friends for a long time in game. But I totally get her a lot of store pets and stuff to say thank you to her for letting me leech her Netflix. Anyway, so basically, when it comes to paying for entertainment, I'm used to paying $5 a month. So when I saw 15, I'm like, ooh, especially because I realized that my budget is way tighter. I did the math over Christmas. Like, I have like, if you look at, for the next 6 months, if you look at how much everything should end up costing me, presuming nothing goes wrong, no car needs nothing, versus how much I expect to be getting, I will have a leftover, a surplus, if you will, of $60. Like, that's how close it is. So I'm like, I can't be spending all this crap on Audible and stuff. But then when I think about if it's gonna get me to actually go out and walk around, like, and get all my steps in every day, it'll be worth it for my health, and I'll make it work. So yes, Audible I've really enjoyed it so far. I also, when I first saw Audible as a service, I remember thinking, there can't be that many, like, audiobooks, because I'm used to audiobooks being books literally on tape, and you'd have, like, a bunch of cassette tapes, and you have to switch to side B. So I was like, no one really would produce that much, but I guess now that everything's digital, and you can just stream it, there's probably a lot more market for that kind of a thing. And I know that I listened to, like, on Spotify, you can listen to a lot of Lovecraft stuff, because most of it's in the public domain, so a lot of people have recorded it. So you can do it on YouTube as well, and I enjoyed it. So I'm like, I enjoy audiobooks. Sure, why not? Ooh, I'll have to look into that, the Sherlock Holmes. I was gonna probably get a legit Here's Everything. I don't know if one exists, actually, but, you know, like a legit Here's Everything of Lovecraft's work. I love Lovecraft. So that was something I was considering. All right, I'll take a look at that. I do love me some free audiobooks. First, I gotta finish Ready Player One. I'm not gonna spoil anything here, don't worry. But I'm at this point in the book where he's, like, describing his setup at a particular point in time, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy is a, like, absolute no-life basement dweller. He's like the gaming stereotype of, like, a WoW player who never leaves their mom's house, kind of a thing. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of making me cringe just imagining it. But I understand, like, it all makes sense in the thing. But it's like, ooh, I remember when I was like this, minus all the cool virtual reality, obviously. All right, come on, load up. The only thing you're missing on the other monitor while we wait for that to load up is I'm just buying lots and lots of stonehide leather. Not nearly enough, there's just never enough stonehide leather. But okay, there we go. All right, and now I should be able to, oh, come on. There we go. How much longer do I have to smelt? Oh my gosh, so I have 14,706 ghost iron bars, and I have 27,000 trillium bars. And let's see here, I can smelt an additional 5,323 ghost iron bars. This is getting ridiculous, guys, but I just can't help myself, because, like, it's used in so much, like, living steel is used in so much valuable stuff that that will remain valuable going forward, that I'm just like, I can't not buy it when I see it, but it's getting a little bit out of hand at this point. All right, let's see here. I think that Liquidate did mail him, ooh, a 4 proc right off the bat, but Liquidate mailed him some, but whatever. I'm just going to do this here. Oh, we're gonna go get, I forgot we gotta go get bacon on all the alts too. And so, once again, no spoilers. But for Ready Player One, a lot of it revolves. I don't know how they're gonna, what they're going to change for the movie. It looks like they're changing significant things somewhat. But anyways, the book is all about 80s pop culture, like in a very nerdy like way, like, you know, D&D 80s, not like necessarily a lot of hairband kind of stuff. But anyways, it's got me, like, really listening to a lot of 80s music again. Actually, a lot of stuff that either appears, like, in the book, because he mentions songs a lot in the book, or, like, the songs from the trailers. I've just been, like, so that's all I've been listening to. I think there's still a thing under the channel to see what I'm listening to right now. So, but for those of you who are currently missing out, then currently we are listening to Tom Sawyer by Rush. So, good stuff. Let's see here. So, let's see here. So like I said, Tom Sawyer by Rush right now, but there's actually a little Spotify playlist that you can find for Ready Player One official Spotify soundtrack. And so basically these are all the songs that are mentioned in the book. I shouldn't say it's all of them. I don't know if that's true, but many of the songs mentioned in the book are on this playlist. So I enjoy it. And I'm actually a little bit curious. No. I was gonna say, because this guy's, like, the username is Ernest Klein, but that can't be the actual Ernest Klein, can it? Anyways. Pretty sure I just showed my full name on stream. Wonderful. Please no stock. I'm not interesting enough to stalk, so that should protect me. All right. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Even before, like, I got into this Ready Player One kick, I was pretty big on Rush. Like, I'm not like, oh, I know all their discography, I'm so into Rush, but it's like everything from Rush I'd ever heard, I really enjoyed. So it's like, and so when I was in organic chemistry, my OChem professor was really into Rush, as far as I know all the discography kind of a thing. And he was a chemistry professor, and for those of you who haven't taken chemistry, like at a college level, basically what I'm saying is he was weird. Like, every chemistry professor I've ever had, I should say, every chemistry professor I've ever had that was born in America, like I haven't, like, whenever I've had like an Indian or Asian professor, they are very serious, or at least they have been in my experience, very serious. But all of the so they're in my undergrad, the OChem professors, so there was the head of the chemistry department. He'll come in the first day and be like, God, I hate chemistry so much. And he's like, I hate chemistry, but I do it because it pays the bills, because I actually have a recording studio in my basement, and he like records music and stuff like that. And and then like my Gen Chem professor, all of our tests, he's a guy. He was probably 5 feet tall, and just like an adorable little like white Mormon guy, and he's like 5 feet tall, and he loves movies. And so all of our tests would be like, we'd have these big open-ended questions that were always based on movies. We had to do like we had to figure out how much gas it would take to float the house in Up. We had to figure out, like, he made this hypothetical situation where shooting the web, like Spider-Man shooting his webs, generated heat. And so we had to determine how much, like, heat was generated as part of that reaction, stuff like that. So, basically, when I took OChem over the summer, this guy was really into Rush. And so I forget what we were talking about, but he's like, you guys need to go listen to 2112. And I was like, all right, sure, why not? I love Rush. I'll listen to 2112. Because I did mention, he said something about Rush, and like no one else in the class had even heard of Rush. And he was upset, and I was a little bit upset too, because you don't have to be a big fan of Rush, but I mean, you should at least know who they are, because it's wonderful. But anyways, so he was like, you guys all need to go listen to 2112. And I was like, I will. And so then the next day I go in, and I'm like, I listened to it. He's like, you listened to the whole thing? And I'm like, yes, I did. And he gave me a high five. For those of you who don't know, 2112 is an album that's like 15 hours long. And I was like, it took me about as long as my chemistry homework, so why not? Summer organic chemistry is terrible. 6 hours a day in class, 2 hours in lab, and then homework until you sleep, and then do it all over again 5 days a week for a month. So don't do that. Though, I swear, it was 2 semesters, but basically there was June and July. June was OChem 1, July was OChem 2. And June was the one that I had the weird professor, and I tried really, really hard in his class, and I ended up with my A, so. And then the second one was like this, no one knew how to pronounce his name. He was an Indian man, and we, I think we called him Dr. K or something like that. I don't even remember the letter. But anyways, he was a nice guy. You could tell that he was a professor from, like, I was at a community college because it was cheaper than my university, and I was just doing prerequisites, so I didn't care. But he was from the university, and you could tell he was just doing this to have something to do and make a little bit extra money. He didn't actually care about the community college students, which I don't mean as a bad thing. It's just, clearly his priorities were elsewhere, and that was fine. But he was so disappointed in us, like, as a class. Like, every time we failed to answer a question or something, he'd be like, you guys, like, I can't even really explain, like, it was because it was silence. I can't say what he said, because it was just, like, a silent disappointment. So, he was a nice guy, though, but basically, people, like, he paid literally no attention during tests. I did not, because I never will, and never have and never will, but people cheated. Like, they would just pull out their, like, they wouldn't even be, like, down here on their phone. They would pull out their laptops and start Googling stuff, because he paid no attention. But everyone, like, I can't say that everyone got A's, but I got an A, even though I, like, by the math, I obviously do all the math heading into the final, and I was like, I would need to get like 103% on the final to get an A, and I got an A, so he must have curved it. Or just given us all A's because he knew that we all were just terrible, terrible people. So that was fun. But I got through it, and then I took biochemistry, and I passed that, and now I get to take biochemistry again next semester. Hooray! But it's graduate level biochemistry. I much like that undergrad professor, I hate chemistry, except I'm not going to devote my life to it, unlike he did. So. Okay. It's prospect, and my music has stopped, but I was in the middle of my big, I was in the middle of my big spiel about chemistry, and I did not start it up again. Here we go. Hope we got some oingo boingo happening. Nice. That Hearth station's still just sitting there. What does it do? What does it mean? I'm gonna Google it. Or WoW-head it, I guess. I'm going to type it into Google, and then click on the WoW-head link. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, it's a quest? Oh, that's to open the present that it contained. I remember seeing how cool would it be if we could actually hear Hearthstone instead of WoW, maybe. Everyone's talking about how that quest was bugged, and no one's telling me what it's actually supposed to do. Oh well. I'm seeing people say, like, if someone clicks on it while you have it open, they'll automatically win. So clearly it does something, but I can't. Maybe it's a horde version or something. I don't know. Either way. Oh, am I out of primal Sargarite? Yes. I'm like, how do I not have enough gems to make that crown yet? I need the Sargarite. So we'll cut all this crap. Oh, I thought the Panthers required Spirits of Harmony as well. It doesn't, so I'm gonna make, like, all of those. Let's see here. So we'll do that. Got a few things on my list here. So I need to go do something to get Primal Sargarite on this character. That's not the right place. There we go. Only one. And she hasn't unlocked the quest to do, to get Argusian Reach quests. Right? She doesn't have any really available. No, not really. I think I get some from Invasions, so we'll go do Invasions real quick. Oh, and she's also, now that I think about it, she's got the shoulder enchant. So, shoulder enchant, pat on the back, good job. Good job remembering to enchant your shoulders. Actually, now that I've said it, let's see. Oh, yep, good, shoulder enchant, done. This character, she's my plate-wearing enchanter, so she gets all my unsullied pieces to disenchant, and every once in a while one will Titan Forge and be an upgrade. So every once in a while her gear changes, and I don't really think about it enough to go change my, shoulder enchant or whatever is appropriate for what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's do this one first, I guess. Chaos crystals. I'm like, well, there's something that I've been needing a lot of, and I need to search the auction house while I'm on loading screens for. I actually should probably lower, or I should raise my shopping value for chaos crystals, because I need them and I'm just not getting them. For whatever reason, my server keeps like, maybe someone's trying to reset the market a lot and seems to be successful because the prices stay pretty high for pretty long. But bottom line is they're going up. They're typically around 300 gold, but they keep spiking to 500, and it upsets me. Makes me sad. Oh, do I have the quest to do these? Good. Okay. Don't want to miss out on my quest. On one of my flights back from Christmas, I sat next to an older gentleman, and he tapped me on the shoulder, and he kind of indicated towards not a surgical mask, but, you know, like one of those kind of medical masks that you might wear when, like, oh, if you go to the doctor and you have a cold, and they say, you know, wear this mask while you're in the waiting room, that kind of a thing. And I was really familiar with the idea of preemptively wearing one of these because I spent time in Japan, especially when I was sick. So a lot of people wear them in Japan. But either way, he warned me. He's like, you're going to see me put this mask on. Don't worry. I'm not sick or contagious. I'm just doing it to keep other people's germs out. I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know. That's fine. I really wouldn't have cared either way because it's not like there was anything I could have done about it, even if he was sick. Oh, oopsie. But and then for the entire duration of the flight, I just kept sniffling. Like, I didn't do it on purpose, and I felt so bad because I'm not sick either. A lot of, like, my nose runs a lot. I can't say why. I know it has something to do with temperature and humidity. Ooh, look at all that loot for not doing nothing. Ooh, I like it. That's cool. Anyways, I know it has something to do with temperature and humidity, but yeah, my nose just runs constantly, so I sniffle a lot. I should carry on tissues, but to me, I'm like, I understand why, I understand the sniffling can irritate people, so, you know, I'm not like, I don't care. It's like, makes sense to me, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to have a snot rag in my hand all the time either, so I'd rather just sniffle. Let's see here. Oh, God, my worst sickness and plane trip was when I was coming back from Japan, because like the morning that we left Japan was when the symptoms began for viral laryngitis. It's actually, I mean, I'm used to being like taken out by like the flu or something. Well, not the flu, but you know, things like that, like things that affect your digestive system. You know, so you're throwing up or things are coming out the other end. It's like, you know, it's like I'm used to that. But this viral laryngitis is probably the first and only time in my life I've felt taken out by something that's more cold oriented. I was so sick. So I bought all these like various types of Japanese candies and treats and stuff to bring back as souvenirs for my friends and family. And I actually ate like 40% of it over the next week because I was so sick. I couldn't get more than like 5 feet from my bed, and that was the only food nearby, and I was like starving. It was really bad. Am I really only gonna get one primal sargarite for this? Fuck that. Awesome, I'm glad you like it, Sifodius. I was actually thinking about the IT crowd the other day, not the IT, yeah, it was the IT crowd I was thinking about the other day. I forget why I was thinking about it, but there's this one part where, Douglas is talking about, like, how Rental Industries isn't sexist, and he's like, if anything, you know, we don't have, like, glass ceilings, if anything, we have glass floors, and the women are just up there, and the men are standing below them, looking up at them, and I was like, oh, I love that line, and, For some reason, I was thinking about that the other day, and it made me laugh. IT Crowd and Black Books. High quality viewing entertainment. I'll check it. I have heard of Father Ted, but not watched it, so I'm gonna add that to my list then. But right now, so I started Stranger Things. I'm only 2 episodes in. I'm told it starts slow, so I should keep going because it's definitely not hooked me yet. And then the new I almost said Black Books. The new Black Mirror is out, and I loved Black Mirror, so I need to watch those. But I want to wait till I can just sit down and just like binge watch them. Where am I? Aranor. Okay. Aranor. I'm in Aranor. Where is everyone? The hell? Like, Aranor? I joined a group for Aranor. Where is everyone? There's one guy over there. Not on my server, so this is weird. I'll just exit and then re-enter. Oh! I see. I'm not in actual R&R, I'm in the greater Rift version. Oopsie daisy. I need to look for the greater invasion. Yeah, I've watched the what was already out up until the last few episodes, because the new season came out like a day and a half ago. But prior to that, I've watched the first couple. You know, I'd watched everything else like 4 times, I think. I'm not in the right room, so I can't just change the camera. But I've got Black Mirror posters in my living room and stuff. I love Black Mirror, so just waiting until I can binge the new season. Which, I mean, I can. I just, like, I keep thinking, oh, I gotta stream, or oh, I gotta cook, or oh, I should finish Stranger Things first, so I haven't started it yet. Or, oh, I'm playing Banished and all my villages got wiped out by tornadoes. I can't be focusing on Black Mirror right now. Not that. Now for the fun bit. Trying to figure out if people made their raid in custom or raid. Custom today. Black Mirror is honestly, like, I can't think, there are a lot of shows that I very much enjoy. I mean, like, Black Books IT Crowd would be up there, and Arrested Development, other than the Netflix season, other than, like, the refreshed Netflix thing. Like, I love that show as well. There's a lot of stuff that I would say I love, but I think Black Mirror might be the show that I think is the best, so I'm not certain that's the case, but I think it is. Yeah, British, like, and so I love British television, like, and not just, like, that kind of genre, but it's like, I've been watching, I religiously followed Downton Abbey until it ended, and then there's another show, it is kind of in the same field as Upstairs, Downstairs. I don't know if a lot of people have seen this. Certainly I've never met another American who has heard of this show. But maybe it was bigger in the UK. I don't know. But there was a show, I'm gonna guess it came out in the 90s, called You Rang My Lord. And I loved it. I used to come on like 2 in the morning on PBS, and I would watch it all the time. I haven't actually seen Upstairs Downstairs itself, so like yeah. Not your so it's not that I have not ignored your question, not like that. It's just I just don't know how to answer it because I was just mentioning that as a comparison. I have not seen either version. I'm not taunting off this dude just because I want to be difficult. There's like 5 tanks here. One of them can do it. Yeah, so if Upstairs Downstairs is a drama, then that other show that I just barely mentioned, sorry, You Rang the Lord would not be the same style of show, but it's kind of the same concept of, from what I understand, that what's it called has, in that it's in that it follows the life both separately and combined of a upper class household and their servants. But it is a comedy for sure. You Rang the Lord is a comedy. I've watched Faulty Towers. I enjoyed Faulty Towers. Trying to think of what other British TV shows that I've really enjoyed. I'm sure there's been a lot. And not that it's quite the same thing, but now that I've run out of Judge Judy, I've just been watching lots of Judge Render, which I've really enjoyed. Only Fools and Horses? Never heard of it. I will look into it. Supposed to be a portal here, isn't there? Oh, there it is. Found it. Oh, Lip Service. That's another one that I watched a lot of. I watched Lip Service a lot. And then, now that I think about it, there were other things, I forget what it was, but there's other stuff on, and obviously Doctor Who. Everyone's seen Doctor Who and enjoyed it. Let's see here. Obviously, I don't actually watch it on the given channel. I just know that I've watched a lot of shows that were Channel 4 shows that were good. So I don't know, like, if that means anything, or if that's like saying it was on Fox or something. But let's see here. I know I'm standing in something on the other monitor, but... Oh, and the British version of Queer as Folk was really good. I liked the American version. I grew up with the American version. I didn't watch the British version until later, but I really enjoyed them both. Let's see here. Okay, now where am I at? Bonnick. Am I getting Sargarite? I hope I picked up some. This is not going well with my... Oh, wait. Aha, good. I've got like 5. Good. Right now, like I would say that my main like things I need to watch is I do want to finish Stranger Things, because so many people would who know me would be like, you should watch Stranger Things. You would love Stranger Things. So I'm like, okay, if this many people are recommending it and it's this popular, because I'm not one to be like, oh, it's popular, I'll watch it. But the fact that people who know me said that I would like it, like, all right, then I'll go for it. So I started it, and like I said, I've watched 2 or 3 episodes, I think. I'm thinking like 2.5, and it's just not, I love Winona Ryder. She's doing a really great job. The cast is great. It's not hooking me like I would expect it to for something that's so popular, but I'm gonna give it I want to give it a go. Someone said it's a slow start. And then after that, I'll do the new Black Mirror, and then we'll see. Keep like catching, like, not that the lighting's great, but I keep like, I can see the stream like right there, and I'm like, I don't know if I got my hair cut like 2 days ago, and I'm like, still not sure if it's quite what I'm looking for. Better than the last one though. Oh, is this one that I can actually get through? Oh, hooray. Alright. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I should have ported before leaving the raid group. Oh well. This is why other than the adorableness, obviously, other than the super sexiness, this is the other reason that all my characters are night elves. That pretty much all of them that can be, other than the monk, because she's adorable. All right, and the Vendicar. And I also, not that it's a TV show, but I need to finish Hellblade. I was streaming it, obviously, and then, like, now I feel like I shouldn't keep playing unless I'm gonna stream it, and then so it's like, it goes like this. I would like to play Hellblade. Shouldn't play Hellblade unless I stream it. Well, you could stream it. Yeah, but if I'm streaming, I should play World of Warcraft. I don't feel like playing World of Warcraft. I'll just watch TV. So that's pretty much how it's why we haven't gotten very much further in Hellblade, for those who are curious. Oh, I can get something with my Argonite. Whatever shall we get? Answer 890. Ring. So we can do ring, shoulders. The ring or shoulders, and here's how lazy I am. I'm gonna get a ring just so I don't have to fly out and get it, or like, oh, I don't have to fly out and get a new shoulder enchant because she uses the light bearer one. But just to get rid of that horseman's ring, we're gonna go for that one. I'm actually pretty close to being able to get, no, I thought I was closer than that to being able to get a second set. See what we get. Well, it's gotta stock it, I guess. Where did it go? There it is. Now we'll just go kill some raptors, because I still didn't get a shoulder bag. Oh, we also got to make panthers, which means we've got a lot of mats to send over. And living steel. And Go transmute the gems first. Yeah, my Panthers were selling like hotcakes over Christmas, I presume because people were getting gifts for their friends in game. But for some reason, my engineering stuff was like I was expecting my geosynchronous world spinner to sell as a result, because that's another one that's kind of like no one really thinks to get that for people, but then that might be one to get for a gift, but no one bought it, so I was kind of surprised. I was happy because I don't really have the mats to make another one. That's almost like, oh damn it, I got a sale, now I have to make another one. Gotta get my watch is finished charging, everyone. Hooray. We're at 5,269 steps. I'm gonna have to do 3 laps around the apartment. Or do what I've been doing lately because it's so cold and just start up some TV and just walk in place, which I don't feel like I feel like that's cheating because it's like, it's not the same movement, just lifting your legs up and down versus actually propelling yourself forward. Oh, I forgot to get, oh, well, I guess I'm going back to her to make the Panthers anyway. I was gonna say I forgot to get bacon. Gotta get the bacon. But while we're on this character, we'll do all of her little chores. So I needed to make 19 of these total. No, wait, 21. I needed 21 of these made. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. So I'm a wild jade. And then I don't think there's a purple tiger, is there? This isn't the correct cue, but either way, we can use it to see what I needed for the tigers. There's blue, yellow, red, and green. Okay. Blue, yellow, red, and green. So we're all set on green. $16 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Blue, green, yellow. One, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It was 13, right? Yep. Okay. And red. 20. Nice, even 20. Am I gonna get any procs on rubies? It's ridiculous. There we go. There's one. Alright. Stuff's been made. Back to clicks it goes. And we're gonna get the bacon on this character before I forget. This is where I keep like flying off into nothingness as I'll start flying. Luckily, when I angle so much downward, it usually just gets me stuck on some rocks. But yeah, don't go AFK while you're flying. You die a lot, and it costs a lot in repairs because usually you're too far out to be able to retrieve your body, and you just have to take the spirit res. Oh. Oh. I don't have one of my important macros because I accidentally overrode it with my TSM button. Hey, Gold Queen, how's it doing? How's your cat? I haven't been keeping up too closely, so maybe there's been developments, but I hope your cat's okay. I hope she's doing okay. Probably just take some, maybe still a little bit of shock kind of a thing, but it's good that sounds like she's physically doing all right, all things considered. I was like, I mean, obviously anyone would in general be sad to hear about the cat's woes and stuff, but I was particularly sad because like I typically whenever I like see stuff like that, I kind of like I put myself in the shoes of various people, and that's like just like the like I contextualize it a lot, like with what little I can. So I was like, because as soon as like as I was watching it all unfold on Twitter, I'm like, she spent all that time making that really nice meal and she seemed really proud of it, and now it's all just kind of gone. I don't want to say it's gone now because I wasn't there, I don't know, but it's like I feel like that's probably not the outcome you wanted when you were making your Christmas dinner. And I was like, oh, it like I was really, really heartbroken for you. So I hope that I'm glad that that things seem to have been working out okay. But it's like there was so much. I don't know if you felt it, but there was so much sympathy coming from me. Like I didn't like tweet you, like respond very much in the tweets or anything. But I was like, I hope that everything's okay with that cat. I hope that all things considered, that you had a good holiday and stuff like that, despite things going awry. Oh, Inflicted says it's time for Mellow Yellow, so I have to. I actually have to go get another one. That was the last drink in that one. But the reason I'm just sitting here is because Liquidate's still bringing in a bit of mail, which is going to tell me what enchants I need to make, and I want to do that before I log off this character, for anyone who's curious. It's going okay, Inflicted. Other than talking about a poor little kitty right now. But my cat, like, I don't have a cat here since I moved away, but back home, we live on a farm, and she was very much an indoor-outdoor cat. She could do whatever. She was a farm cat, and one day I came home from my undergrad. I was coming home to do laundry or something, and I saw her kind of off by herself in the yard, which wasn't uncommon, but I'm like, something up with her face. And I tried to get close to her, and she was really, really avoidant. And she was never a social cat, but she was overly avoidant, and I was really confused. And so, but I had to go, like, I had to go to class. So I sent my mom a message, and I'm like, will you try and catch the cat and just make sure she's okay? And so they ended up catching her, and, like, her eyeball was, like, hanging out of her socket. So I have a cat with one eye, and she did, you know, we took her to the vet, and they stitched her up, and she's had one eye for maybe 6 years now, and she's doing great. So even if cats are missing parts, they're still adorable and sweet. So I keep thinking I've got to go farm up some Essence of Water so I can make the Tome of Illusions Azeroth and restock that on the auction house, but I'm never quite that bored. Quite that bored. Get close, but not quite. That might be how we end the stream, is getting me enough Essence of Water after I do everything else I need to do today. Okay, so now, but I do think I have the mats on hand for the Outland one, so let's handle that real quick. Gather, Remixins, Enchanting. Okay, Primal Mana is what I'm missing. I don't have enough mana. Might as well bring you guys over while I'm actually buying stuff. Ah, that's not bad. 20 gold apiece. Let's see, but I bet I can get modes cheaper. Yep. Nope. That'd be 30 gold apiece. And that's enough. That reminds me, though, I need some. Oh, I'm good with that price. All right. I only need 2 essence of water. Let's just go snag that right now before we log off. Usually I do it on my druid because she's way better for this with the max range moonfire spam, but that's the other reason I haven't actually done this, is because every time I actually am like, oh, I could just go do that right now. I'm never on the druid, and I'm like, I don't want to log into the druid just to go farm essence of water. I haven't actually seen any math on what spot's better, but I feel like this spot is way better than Winter Spring and more accessible as well. I guess Winter Spring's relatively accessible now that there's that portal to Hyjal. But, I like this place better. Especially for that Moonfire spam and instant flight form druid. Sweet. I've got enough Bear Tartar laying around. Made it a little bit easier, even though I don't have instant flight. The druid's so much better for this. I think I got a legendary that buffs my glaive throw or something like that. 25% increased damage for each enemy hit. I don't know if that means that the first one does like 25% increased damage by default. I'm getting all the water except the essence. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen again. My bad. I noticed it by myself this time. Haha, 1 essence. 1 more to go. Haha, yes. It's kind of interesting because of the stream lag. It's like on my end, I've already noticed and switched back, but on your end, I'm like, yes, I know she's seeing the Uxtas. My bad. My bad. I do that all the time. Luckily, I actually noticed it kind of. Like, I think the most I've done is like, there was one dungeon that I did it for like an hour. I felt so bad. Come on, 1 more essence and we're done. Aha, there we go. I'm not sure what else they would have been good for, since I don't really farm stuff. This is like the one thing that will actually come out and get myself. It's essence of water. I don't know why I draw the line at essence of water, but when I have to, for some reason, I'm like, I'm not gonna pay for that. But yeah, I think that there's a whelp in Winter Spring that can drop, and that's why people like to farm there instead. I don't know about, like, stuff here. I know that since they're water elementals and not slimes, I would be relatively surprised if they could drop, like, a disgusting oozling. And I've never seen, like, a bag drop. But maybe. And they definitely maybe a whelpling or something. I don't know. But I have farmed a lot of these particular elementals, so I think I've seen pretty much their entire loot table, and it's not much special. You like level mid 55 or mid 50s transmog pieces, globes of water, elemental water, and essence of water, and then just these like inert elemental shards and spheres that don't vendor for much. I guess I can stop. I've got what I need. But now it's kind of like, I'm on a roll. This is what I do with my druid. Sometimes when I'm really bored, is I just try and farm up like 20 of them. And then that gets me for a little while. Luckily the bags don't, or not the bags, the books don't sell that often. So I don't have to do this all the time. Jim, what is up? How are you doing? How's the family and how was Christmas? Okay, I'm gonna kill 5 more now. We'll see what happens. Then I'm gonna be done. We got panthers to make. 1. 2. Awesome, about Christmas and family. Ah, so Oozlings before Kata. That would explain why I haven't seen them before, is because they aren't here anymore. Oh no, I've got 4 minutes left on my Hearthstone, so we're just gonna, I guess I could go back to Stormwind pretty easy. Yeah, we'll just go back to Stormwind. Yeah, we got all the... We're talking about farming disgusting oozlings and Swamp of Sorrows. Jim's here. It's just like... It's like we've gone back in time. Okay, so... Now I can make my enchanting book. Okay, so it is an it's a used to be a whelpling in as a zone drop and then oozling from a mob specific drop and the oozlings still drop it. That's just obviously, but I don't see it obviously because I'm not farming the correct mobs. Got it. I have so many. So I used to keep my globes of water to make tranquil mechanical yetis, but I get them so much more quickly than tranquil mechanical yetis sell. So I just vendor them now. Three. Last I heard it was 2 kids, I think. Last I remember hearing it was 2 kids anyway. So, grats on number 3. You are talking about Catharsis of Grizzly Hills. Yeah, I don't remember just my 2 copper having a podcast. I'm not saying they didn't, but maybe it was back when, because I haven't, when Marco sold the site, I actually stopped paying attention to it earlier than that, but I definitely stopped paying attention after Marco sold the site. But I definitely remember Catharsis of Grizzly Hills and his buying all of that pyrite ore, just certain that he would be able to prospect epic gems with it, and he couldn't. But someone brought up, in my chat a while ago, someone brought up a good point in that if he still had it, if he still had that pyrite, he'd actually be sitting pretty because people want it for the true gold to make the mounts. I will forever remember Catharsis of Grizzly Hills. I don't know why that will always stick in my mind. It's just like, it's like my cautionary tale of not putting all my eggs in one basket. Because if I remember correctly, he was like, and this is back before you could do server transfers with gold, for those who don't know what I'm talking about. So this guy named Catharsis plays on Grizzly Hills, or played on Grizzly Hills. This is back in, what would it have been? Pyrite. That would have been, Miss of Pandaria, I think. Anyways, no, not Miss of Pandaria, Cataclysm. I'm trying to say Cataclysm. Yes, Cataclysm. Anyways, this guy, and we didn't have epic gems at the launch. And we were so, like, we were like, when are they going to come out? And in the previous expansion, Wrath of the Lich King, titanium had originally not been prospectable, and then they added later that it could be prospected from titanium. Catharsis said to himself, I think it's going to do it again. I think that's going to be I think they're going to follow that same trend. So in preparation for the patch where I expect it to happen, I'm going to buy all the pyrite I can get my hands on, to the point that he was spending real money to transfer to other servers to buy pyrite in bulk and bring it back to his server. He spent, I forget how much he spent, but he spent like a ridiculous amount of gold and real money for the transfers, or at least he said he did. And then it didn't happen. They ended up not prospecting into epic gems, and so everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And I don't know what happened to him. I presume that he might have just rage quit. I think I would have at that point. But that is forever in the back of my mind whenever I'm like, I've been buying all this ghost iron for making living steel, and I know where that value will not go away. So I'm buying it at a certain price and stuff like that. So I'm not actually risking anything. But in the back of my mind, it always kind of makes me think of them. It's like whenever I buy that much stuff, I'm like, what if these go? What if I'm about to make a terrible investment? It'll be in my mind forever now. The thing is, if he still has it, someone brought, like I said, someone brought up the fact that people, like, now that we're using it, like, now true gold is, if he can get if he has the Vial of the Sands pattern, he can make, I mean, it'll be slow going, but he can probably profit from what he did, because he would have bought it at, like, at prices back then. He could probably sell it raw at a profit at this point. Of course, he'd have to have held on to it and kept playing for, like, years, so who knows. I don't make terrible mess by maintaining my WoW poverty. Nice. That's like, that's why I stick with like current content. I don't overreach with speculation. Really, the only like massive investment I ever made to prepare for a patch was for Glyphmas. Like, that's probably the only massive investment I think I've done. Okay. Oh, goody. That's where I need to go anyways. That, like, the fact that I quit playing for years, and then I still think it's like, I'm not even like, you remember that pyrite guy? It's like, oh, that was Catharsis of Grizzly Hills. It's like, I don't know why. It's just it's like Glyphmas. It's like, if you were there, you remember. Oh, Glyphmas was a total thing. Glyphmas was the best. So more history for folks who weren't around at the time or weren't into gold making. So Inscription, of course, came out in Wrath of the Lich King, and it used to be that, first off, for those of you who are new in Legion, it used to be that glyphs actually affected your skills. So similar to the skill trees that we have now, where you could go and modify how your spells work here, glyphs were how you modified how your spells worked. And you had major and minor glyphs in like the circular thing. So you could choose like 3 major and 3 minor, and you would swap them out using dust. So similar to how you use a Tome of Tranquil Mind or go back to a rest area now, you used to have to use a book every time or visit the inscription trainer and stuff like that. And it was 1 book per glyph. But basically, you would be expected, if you're like a progression raider, to bring spare glyphs to the raid and swap your glyphs based on are you doing a 5-man content? Then you're going to swap to all your AoE glyphs. Are you doing like, and then certain bosses, like, does this boss do a lot of magic damage? Then your tanks are going to have to swap their glyphs for magic damage, stuff like this. So there was all of this glyph swapping. And so, like, let's say I'm just going to pick a random glyph for Monk. I actually don't know if I know any. Let's see here. I'll just make up a different, like, hypothetical. But, let's say I have a glyph. Okay, so there used to be a glyph that would make Avenger's Shield, the prop paladin throw thing. It would only hit 1 target, but it would hit them for like 3 times the damage. So that's a lot better on bosses, but terrible on trash. So I'd swap, I'd swap to that one for bosses and then immediately swap back for trash, back to boss, back to trash. And every time I swapped, I needed an additional glyph. I couldn't, like, it wasn't like I learned it and then could swap back and forth. I needed a new glyph every time I swapped. This is why inscription was such a big moneymaker. And at one point, Blizzard decided that they didn't like this model, and they said, when you right-click on that glyph in your bags, you are going to learn it. And then that's when the book swapping started. Now you know them all after you learn them once, and you swap them using books, or dust was what it was at the time. And so on the day that the glyphs went from you have to have 10 of them in your bags to you learn them once, everyone wanted to go to the auction house and buy all the glyphs for their class. So all the gold makers are like, glyphs are going to go through the roof. And they did. There were people making, and this is back in was it in Wrath of Lich King or was it afterwards in Kata? Anyways, either way, this was back when like the gold cap was 214,000 gold. And people were making like 5 million gold in a single day. It was ridiculous. Yeah, Glyphmas was a fun thing. There's never been anything like it. Honestly, like, I prepped, like, I had 20 of every glyph. I was ready. And I still sold out within the first few hours and, like, was kicking myself for not creating more inventory and playing too conservative. Because my server isn't a big server. We're not really a progression raid server. So I was like, there's no way there's going to be enough demand to sell 20 of every glyph. I sold out so fast. Oh, I forgot to go do the Battlebound thing for 10 blood, so we'll see how long it expires. If it's got like 3 days, then we'll do that later. All right. It was here, 14 hours. Okay, I'm gonna go do it before I forget. I bet you I've got screenshots from my original blog. Let's see if I can find it while we're flying. Let's see if it's, the problem is, like, now if I go to my old blog, it tries to redirect me to my URL, which I no longer own. So it just, like, ends up as a broken link sort of a thing. So what I have to do is, like, let's see here, is figure out which of my email addresses that blog was assigned to. Inflicted cheered. Hooray. Thank you. I think you should be able to do links now. Yeah, so you're welcome to link it if you can. If not, you can, if not, you can tweet it and I will look at it and show people on the stream. And so that, yeah. Do your best. Go for it. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's Christmas tree cheers. Oh, cute. I'm still working on trying to see what I've got. Let's see how far back my newer blog goes. Miss of Pandaria. The 6,000 gold vendor pet. Belt buckles, duped items. Some of these look good. I should read my own posts. Recipe collections update coming. Glyph competition for glyph primer. Let's see here. This is much. Yeah, this is Miss of Pandaria. So this is gonna be too old. Oh, when Lodi got server first guild level 25. Hooray! And then my other realm first. So this is the launch of Miss of Pandaria. Oh, so it looks like my stuff ends just after Glyphmas. Or it begins just after Glyphmas. Damn. Let me make sure. Let's see here. Let me go back to chat, see if you were able to link your thing. Oh, I guess my chat's over here. Now you guys know what it looks like. The secret. Let's see here. Okay, and I can see that link. Can you see that link? I can see it. Did that break on my end? Because there's like a 1-7 in there. Maybe that's supposed to be a W. I don't know. It's getting complicated. Is it this? I don't know. Yeah, for some reason, does that link work for you? Because it doesn't work for me. I'm going to, rather than click on it, I will copy and paste it. Because, like, it's putting something different into the... Yeah, for some reason it's adding a 38 where there's supposed to be a W. Weird. I'm still quite curious about being able to find, like, so I had a different blog called Nerf Fades before I did Go Clockwork Riot, and if I can remember what email address that was attached to, I can go into it as an admin and see if I can find some screenshots. Okay, I'm making battle-bound Spalders. Okay, let's see here. Which account would it have been under? Probably this one. This is why I never get very far, because I can never remember the password to this account, and I just kind of give up. Oh, this looks promising. Okay, so that's the old blog. Do I have a... So... Did I find it? I found it! Okay, talking on glyph walling. Oh man, 2011, good stuff. Man, I was really into glyphs. Like, all of my stuff is glyphs back in the day. Oh, look, I have a post called Pyrite Stockpiler Still Sitting Pretty. I wonder if I mentioned Catharsis. want to talk about pyrite. Now, I didn't stockpile pyrite. No, I'm not here to say, haha, don't you wish you were in the same boat? God, I wish I had a stockpile of cheap pyrite from pre-bot banning. Some bloggers are now saying that it was stupid to stockpile pyrite based on speculation, but this is completely wrong, and I'll be glad to tell you why. Okay, anyways. I still want to find my glyph stuff. When was that patch? So I can just look at, because I obviously did not. Horde glyph wars declared. Lesson, don't be a tool. Hey. Hey. Yeah, like, I wish if there was stuff that I felt needed, I feel like I've explained everything that kind of needs to be, let's see here. And I'm just like, as part of this stream, let's just watch me read my old blog post. Let's see here. Oh, I remember this. Okay. I don't remember how it ends, so we'll go on this journey together, you guys. But this is my lesson. Don't be a tool post. You can't even access this anymore because of my broken URL. So this is behind the scenes. So I'm gonna read you guys my blog post because this is hilarious. It was so amusing to me. So, and I'll add some context for those of you who weren't around back in the day. I was able to pick up a Thex Ember Seal, which was a valuable BOE from a raid. I was able to pick up a Thex Ember Seal on Horde for 18,000. I decided that I would flip it to Alliance and try to sell it. This is back when the auctions were separate based on your faction. And worst case scenario, my Death Knight or Warrior could use it. Not that great of a piece, so Fade will replace it soon if I give it to her. I started getting undercut a lot, so I've decided to sell it exclusively through trade, where I'm asking for 25,000. Here's some trade chat from Argent Dawn when I was attempting to sell the ring. And basically, a guy named Ankle Biter is like, lol, 25,000, that ring is crap. And I said, don't buy it. He's like, I'm not, faggot. Don't change that, it's shit though. Or doesn't change that it's shit though. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to sell a ring. Anyways, I want to sell it for 25,000. So that happens. And I'm on liquidate at the time. And I'm like, yeah, he's mad. Anyways, things went on. Still no ring sales. I decided to restock glyphs since I'm running low on a few and hopped on my shaman in Ghostwolf form so this following conversation makes sense. I went AFK to grab a popsicle and come back to an open trade window with 5 Hypnog Dust, 5 Greater Celestial Essence, and 2 Maelstrom Crystals in the window. After a few seconds, the person accepts the trade, giving me materials. This is the same guy that was in trade chat. Whoops, haha, I meant that for someone with almost the same name as my shaman. Damn. He's like, get back here, wolf boy. I'm like, no thanks, I'm keeping them though. Thanks for calling my bank tuna faggot though. He's like, wow, you're seriously gonna keep them? And I'm like, yep, karma's a bitch. So I just loved that worked out. So now he's on ignore and I've got some free enchanting mats. I'm usually the type to say LOL and help someone correct a mistake. I haven't made very many, but having made a few small slip-ups when posting auctions, I know how much you kick yourself for that. But the opportunity to hopefully teach this guy a lesson about being dick to complete strangers was too good to pass up. I have friends in his guild. I'll probably send it to them and have them put it in the guild bank because God knows I don't need to rip people off to get enchanting materials, but yeah, too great of an opportunity. Please, folks, trying to reform trade troll, remember this. Nothing good will come out of being a dick to someone. There is no positive thing created when you harass random strangers. The internet breeds a sense of anonymity that tends to make it so there's also no downside. Nothing bad comes out of being rude to complete strangers who weren't even addressing you. But sometimes, at the end of the day, your dickishness will come back to bite you. Be nice, folks, and make sure you're trading with the right person before you press accept. Oh, I miss blogging. I miss blogging. It was on Blogger, but I don't really need it to be all that accessible. It was just, I just was curious as to what was going on over there. Thank you, though. Let's see here. I love these posts. My nemesis returns. Let's see here. I actually don't know if I had to have been blogging during Glyphmas. I had to have been. But I don't. Aw. Anyways, I'll look into that some other day. So, okay, did I turn, okay, I made the Spalders. Nope, I haven't even made them yet. Good job, me. I might just have to, like, make some popcorn and read all my old blog posts. Some of them honestly do make me cringe, because, like, I had a bit of, like, I wasn't like, oh, everyone else is crap, but still at the same time I had a little bit of a ego. Still do. But I don't think I was mean about it, but I definitely thought that I was the shit, and it was about WoW Gold, so it's not like, what's the point of feeling like you're the shit when it's about World of Warcraft Gold? I feel I've matured somewhat. But sometimes I go back and read my stuff. Like, I had to do this mass media assignment for one of my courses in my grad program, and it was like, you need to know how to write a blog post. And in my mind, I'm like, I already know how to write a blog post. And it's kind of funny because all of my blog posts are so different from because they're like, you have to keep them short. You can't use technical lingo. You have to, like, do this with your images. And I just broke all the rules. And I'm like, yeah, but my blog was relatively successful. So anyways, but it caused me to go back and read my old blog. And I'm like, this girl knows what she's talking about. So, okay, so I've got my bloods of Sargeras, and then we'll just log out here. That's not a bad idea. Set out, thank you for the follow, Modena. Set out yeah, I actually have thought about that. Like, I was actually from a video perspective doing like a video on demand of some of my old YouTube videos that I think are still relevant. But actually that would be kind of fun, is to find blog posts. Some of them, most of them still, it's like, and say, how they've aged. Does this concept still work? Whatever I happen to be talking about, how will it have changed in the years since I wrote the blog post? Or like for ones that are more story based, like let me tell you about Glyphmas, giving the context for people who haven't played, or for people who didn't play back then. That'd be kind of cool. After stream, I'm gonna play some more Banished, and I've got to start a new village because I rage quit my last village last night. I played for 8 hours, and then a tornado came in, and I wouldn't have cared if it had like wiped out half of my villagers, because half of them were old and they weren't banging, so they weren't making babies for me anyways. So don't care about them anymore. And like a lot of them had a spouse that died, so they were sad because I didn't have a cemetery built yet, so they weren't working as hard as they should have. So I was fine with them dying, but the problem is it took out my trading post, which I'd been storing like tons of materials in. So I got a little bit ragey, and I quit. So I've got to start a new town, and I also need to plan my D&D campaign that I'm gonna run. Okay. I honestly, I was getting kind of irritated about my old villagers who weren't banging, to be honest, because they, I don't mind if they want to, live out their lives of hard work in my medieval village together. That's fine. But don't take up one of my stone houses for that. Go live in the boarding house. They need to introduce a building that's called assisted living facility that all the old people move into, to get out of the good houses, so that the good houses are available for people who are actually going to make families. I need bloods on this character. What's my profession situation? Not good. Bummer. Okay. Well, we'll definitely do the bloods at least before I forget. Hey, if you enjoy blogging and if you got stuff to say, then say it. I love it. Like, I think that I'm glad that people are keeping the blogging aspect of life. I felt like right around the time that I left, I feel like so much was going into streaming, and as you can see as I'm sitting here streaming, I kind of eventually took a kid, if you can't beat them, join them kind of a thing. Actually, it's just because this works out better for how much work and time I can put into this. But basically, blogs are still awesome, and I'm glad people are still blogging. I think more people should start blogging, so that we can elevate the discourse to, you know, from check out this cool farming spot I found to let's discuss the concept of walling to deter competitors and stuff like that. I mean, I think that there's room in this world of Warcraft for all of that. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be the farming stuff too. I feel like I feel like when you take if you were to somehow quantify the level of thought put in, I shouldn't say thought. That's not accurate, because there's a lot of thought that goes into a lot of people who do the like various farming stuff. If you were somehow able to quantify the depth of gold making strategies and discussion, the average would be significantly less deep than it once was. Oh, walling is definitely still a thing. I'm just saying there aren't a lot of people that I've seen, you know, blogging about that kind of stuff anymore. I'm the exact same way, Jim. I stopped paying for for clockworkride.com. I think that someone like bought it and it's about hair care or something now, which I don't get, but I guess it didn't make any more sense of a URL for WoW either. But so it's like I can't even go rebuy it if I wanted to, so I'm gonna be one of them Blogspot folks as well. We'll be Blogspot bros. A face for blogging, I love it. It's like having a face for radio. Oh, you said face for radio, right? I'm kind of reading upwards, so we're on the same page, you and I. I haven't stored my old writing locally, but I have it in blog, like, because, so what, I don't know about Jim, but what I did is, my blog was always on Blogger. I just had a custom URL direct to the Blogger content. So I can still, as long as I can remember the login, which obviously I can still get to the old stuff. I'm kind of the same way, Jim. It's like the actual, like, I don't actually, honestly, I don't even have a desire to stream to create content anymore, to be honest. That's how little I care about creating content. But I love interacting with the people, like you got, especially when folks like the Gold Queen and you, Jim, and people who I've known who we can say, oh man, do you guys remember when we were all like in the community and that catharsis thing happened? It's like a class reunion, you know? It's like, so I love, and the new folks, like Not Like That's here, Inflicted, even though I've known him for a while in game, kind of, because he's Horde, we never spoke. But, you know, it's like, I've had people that I've known for a while and people who are new. It's like, I love that community aspect of it. I have no desire to create content, but I create this kind of content. And then there's also, there's people who post on, there's very few, but there are people who comment on the YouTube videos after I push the stream to YouTube. And I love those folks too. Even though you can't be here live, I know you're here in spirit. I'm kind of in somewhat of the same situation, Gold Queen. For thankfully, and I'm not sure if this is the case with you, but thankfully for me, it's a temporary thing, and that essentially, while I'm in grad school, my schedule's so weird, I can't really and it's not just like a daily schedule, but it's also like in August, I'm going to be really busy because it's a new semester. Then September, it settles down. But then midterms come, so I don't have any time. And then it settles down for Thanksgiving. Then, oh my God, finals, I'm busy. So it's like I can't really commit to a real job. So in a sense, I can't really hold a job right now either. Not really. So I gotcha. I understand how it goes. Okay. Ooh, oh yeah, she can go make those same battle-bound spelders. Cool. What the fuck? Where's mine? When you see this kind of thing, you have to contribute, you know? All right, there we go. Now, do I have to do something weird to exit it? So that it stays? No. Oh, yeah, I guess must require some special way to exit, like logging out with it down or something like that. Oh well. I'll learn the Hearth Station hacks later. Yeah, streaming is such, like when I came back for Legion, I was like, you know, I completely missed Warlords, so I didn't understand a lot. Like, I was like, there might be so many changes I don't realize, and there were. So I'm like, I'll look up blogs and YouTube and stuff like that, and there really wasn't anything. And I'm like, oh, everyone's streaming now. Streaming's like the thing now. It's a huge deal. I like, but there's a South Park episode about streaming that if anyone hasn't seen it, you should totally go see it. But for anyone, first off, for anyone who doesn't know South Park, there's the main boys. Kyle, oh man, Kyle, Kenny, Cartman, well, they all have K names except for Stan, and Stan, and basically, Kyle's little brother Ike is like, he's supposed to be like a second grader or something at this point, I think, but anyways, he and his friends are like, they watch streamers like PewDiePie and stuff like that, who actually does appear in the episode, like legit, like on screen, like they don't even make a animated version of him, but anyways, and the older kids are like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Why do you like this? And the younger kids are like, shut up, grandpa. You don't understand. And I'm like, I'm the grandpa. I am an absolute grandpa about streaming. I don't get it. Thanks for the follow. Oh my gosh, that's our giveaway, Mark. Don't let me forget. But so that's how I feel about streaming. And then, yeah, Gold Queen, I got you for sure. Not in quite the same way, but I imagine it was kind of a similar feeling, though not so much, when I had to go to a school counselor to make sure I was going for I couldn't figure out what I really wanted to major in. And one of the many things this counselor did with me was he did a personality test just to see, like, people who have similar personalities to you, what jobs do they excel in? What jobs do they typically not excel in? Things like that. And that whole, it revealed some interesting things. But one of them was, like, my Myers-Briggs type, and I know that some people think it's all poppycock, and that's fine, and I understand that, and I'm kind of halfway in the same way, but at the same time, listening to it has not led me astray yet. And a lot of it, like, whenever I read about, like, people interacting with someone of my personality type, I'm like, I understand now why people think I'm stuck up. I understand why people think I'm rude. I understand why people think I'm not interested in them. Even though none of those things are true, it's like, now that I see that it's because of a specific way that my personality interacts with other people's personalities. Now I'm like, I understand why like either bosses love me or they think I'm insolent. It's like there's no middle ground. They think that I'm combative and insolent, or they think I'm the best employee they've ever had. So I got you with the whole finding out something about yourself that, like, causes you to realize why things are the way they are. So. We need someone get some gold making meme stat for, is that going to be John or Jan? We'll say John. I'm not good with the memes. My grandpa and that as well, I guess. So I subscribe to the subreddit Our Fellow Kids and other stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know what any of these words mean. I am actually old. I am not a fellow kid anymore. I think that the first time that I was really like, what does that even mean? Was on fleek. Something that is fleek. Like, I don't even, that's the thing is, like, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like the slang and stuff from my generation, which I understand was not that much older than the current generation, but still, there's like a 15-year gap there for like people who are teenagers and stuff. And I feel like when I was that age, all of our slang and stuff was derived from like a word that made sense and was tangentially connected to the topic at hand. And now it's like they're just making up words. They're just making up stuff. And so I'm just completely lost. And I'm sure that's the point, these youngins trying to lose us old people. Okay, I need to send over some gold to make a bunch of panthers. A lot of times I'll see like presentations or something, or like for my mass media assignment that I mentioned earlier, it's like one of the things we had to do was compose a tweet to talk about some nutrition concept and stuff like that. And like, it was like, make sure you use, modern language and stuff. Don't be afraid to use like, slang as long as it makes sense. And I'm like, first off, modern slang doesn't make sense. It's terrible. These kids need to get with the program. But no, in actuality, I was like, you guys know that people who use that slang, like people who don't use that slang don't understand you, and people who do use that slang roll your eyes and find it ridiculous that you're trying to relate to them like that. So it's like, it's just a bad idea. Just say what you want to say like a professional adult. What's up, Esther of the Black Harvest? What you making there? I want to know what that person's making. Is that the one? I used to be able to see what other people are making. Maybe not anymore if I'm not in their party. Oh, I bet they're making bolts to make no. Oh, they're transmuting to make something for a vial of the sands. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to have any panther competition. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have a target cast bar for them, because I definitely, have one in my UI. So I don't know why I couldn't see that. It's weird. Oh, quit Ryan. Oh, there it is. Weird. I can see it for the Summon Infernal. Secret. Snooze followed. Thank you very much. I thought I said something, but maybe I didn't. I think I said thanks for the follow, but I didn't say his name, maybe? Once I accidentally, so someone's username started with JOO, and I was like, thanks for the follow, Jew. And then I'm like, that sounds bad. And so that's kind of why I stopped saying names that I can't immediately recognize as how it would be pronounced. In case anyone's curious, I do choose not to pronounce certain names, but it's not a personal thing. It's just I don't want to accidentally thanks thanks for the follow, Jew. Snooze. Oh, and we do have a a giveaway open. So we have to do a giveaway before I forget, because I will totally forget if I don't. Let me load up my. I think that we'll do store pet. So login. It'll be any pet of your choice from the Blizzard store if you win. Let me bring up my little. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's Twitch giveaways, not Streamlabs. Okay. We need to do. People who subscribe are more likely to win. Anyone who enters can win, but anyone who enters can win. And then we're going to do keyword. Keyword's just gonna be gold, all lowercase. So if you want to enter the giveaway, which once again will be for a pet of your choice. But thank you so much for everyone who's followed. This is basically every time I hit a certain follower milestone, we do another giveaway. So if you want to enter, go ahead and type gold, as I've just done there. Not Like That has successfully entered, as has Clarky. So I will give you guys, let's see here, it's 2:02 now. I will give you guys until 2:07 to enter. So I know that there's a significant amount of stream lag, I feel, today, especially for the EU folks. So we'll give you until 2:10 to enter. Uh-oh, I'm one living steel short. Have I done all of my living steel transmutes for the day? I feel like I have. I could do a Spirit of Harmony one, or I could just be patient and wait for tomorrow. I think I'll just be patient and wait for tomorrow. Okay, yep, inflicted. I don't know if you're lagging or not, but you are successfully entered. Currently entered in is Sephorium, Clarky, inflicted, Johnny Kunha, Mooksy, Not Like That, Snooze Mumrican, is that good? And Gold Queen. Twink gems, you mean like gems that aren't current content? Because if so, then I have no idea. Because that is, I really, especially when it comes to jewel crafting, it's either the mounts or current content gems. I can recognize why there would be a market, so I just can't really report as to whether or not it's any good, especially because no one on my server twinks. So. Yeah, I don't know why my Panthers sell so much faster than my non-Sky Golem engineering mounts. You'd think that they would have essentially the same kind of demand, but apparently not. All right, let's see here. It's 6 more minutes. Oh, I feel like, okay, so I've seen EU people enter, so I know that you guys have seen it despite any lag, so we're going to switch back to 2:06, because otherwise we'll wait so long to start the giveaway that I'll forget that I was doing a giveaway, so. Okay. Yeah, a mount should sell more around Christmas because it's a really common, like, oh, I need to get my guild leader a gift. Oh, mounts are a really common thing that people wouldn't buy for themselves. What else do we have to craft that we haven't done a lot of yet? Let's go back to my druid and get that battle-bound Baldur's stuff. I don't remember if I actually did or just said it, looked at it and said I needed it and then not actually did it. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense that there is a market for twink gems that, rationally, I'm like, oh yeah, that would totally be a viable market. Might not move super fast, but it's kind of one of those markets that you probably won't get a sale every day, but when you do, there is probably not a lot of competition, and so you can probably, and people, they need that gem, so they'd probably pay quite a bit for it. So I can understand. I would recommend giving it a go for sure, but I can't say from any personal experience how it is. But yeah, do it for tailoring. Okay, we're gonna roll out the winner in, oh, it's 206. So our winner is, keeping in mind that subscribers are more likely to win. Jim, you won! Do you even play WoW? I could say, if you don't, we can look at like a Steam game or something. I'm more than happy to do a Steam game for you as well. Something like that. So, either way, I do work out the details of giveaways after the stream ends. So you can think about that for now. It's like, I'm more than happy to gift you a WoW pet as well. I'm not saying you can't have a WoW pet. I disallow it or anything like that. Just a thought. But yeah, so we will chat after the stream as far as what you'd like to do. I'm happy to, since it sounds like you don't really have time for WoW, I'm more than happy to look at doing a Steam game or something. You can get banished and have all of your villagers get old and die to tornadoes like me. Okay. So thank you to everyone who followed. So now we're gonna go from 12 to 13. So next will be, we'll restart the counter in 13 more followers, another giveaway. Follower goals. Here we go. Follower goal. And follower goal. It was at 12, so now we're at 13. Keeps graying out my follower goal button, and I'm not sure why. I'll deal with that later. It's not like we're gonna get 13 followers today anyways. Yeah, and this will actually, as long as I'm making this little flight here, I'll just say that this will be actually, we're at 2 hours, which is usually the duration of my streams, and I'm hungry, and I baked sourdough bread this morning, and I want to go eat my bread. So thank you so much for hanging out. Oh, but here we go. I'm gonna mess up the camera here, but we've got a bonus. It's not gonna be a good view at all, but a special thank you to Inflicted for helping make my Jane the Dreams possible. So gorgeous. And so thank you so much for hanging out today. This is my first stream since coming back from Christmas vacation. For those who weren't around earlier, my schedule is going to change based on my new class schedule in a few weeks, but until then I've got like a week and a half off, so it's going to be intermittent, but so make sure you're following if you're not already. Thank you everyone who followed, and have a great day. Jim, I will contact you, or we will chat after the stream.